Hello and welcome to another episode of the Duct Tape Marketing Podcast. This is John Jantz, and my guest today is Atiba de Souza, known as a super connector and video content superman. You can see he's wearing the gear. Celebrated marketer who champions the power of genuine relationships as the head of a video marketing agency for doctors. Atiba combines marketing expertise with a deep understanding of human connections. His entrepreneurial journey includes managing gyms, a bakery, and food service companies, giving him a unique business perspective. So, Atiba, welcome to the show.
Thanks, John, for having me. And first, it's a pleasure, man. I've been a huge fan of yours for a really, really long time.
Well, I appreciate that. I'm glad there's a couple of you still left out there.
More than a couple, my friend.
So I think, connected over most recently anyway, over just kind of this idea of repurposing content.
Yeah.
And it's funny, I know your primary medium is video. Is that right?
Yes, correct.
Yeah. I think video just happens to be the perfect medium for repurposing, isn't it?
100%.
Yeah. I mean, you, especially with some of the new tools, right? AI and stuff.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
video captures voice and tone and point of view and expertise that can then be repurposed. So maybe talk a little bit about, because you've developed a pretty systematic approach to doing that. So maybe let's start breaking down the elements of that.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting, John, because I had a good friend of mine call yesterday, and we were chatting, and near the end of our conversation, I have one more question for you. He said, I've been posting videos on YouTube, and I've noticed that I've taken those videos and I'll turn them into a short, and I'll post a short. And every time I do, I get a subscriber or two off of that short. So should I create more shorts? Like, what should I do? I mean, how does this work? Right. And one, everyone knows the word repurposing. I
Right.
call it a four-letter word only because it's been bastardized. It just means, hey, take a piece of content, cut it up, and stick it back out there. And what I explained to my friend yesterday is it's not just about repurposing, it's about splintering. It's about understanding the audience. And
Right.
are there other pieces of content in your long form that you created that will resonate with your audience that they will want to watch? If so, cut those, add those as well, right?
So,
And
so
so that's really
yeah,
where
go
it
ahead.
starts,
Go ahead.
the audience. It starts with understanding what your audience needs and wants.
Okay. I can imagine somebody saying, yeah, I get that, but how do I do that?
Yeah. Um, and so we call it intelligent splintering.
Okay.
Okay. And what we mean by that is if you create a video, John, 10 minutes, you talk for 10 minutes on a topic, everything that you said in that video was an answer to a question that someone could have asked.
Right.
And so the question is figuring out which questions did I answer? And if I can figure out the questions I answered, are those actual questions my audience is asking that they care about? If they are, and so you're getting congruence there, then those are splinters that we make, cuts, shorts, whatever you want to call them, of the video. That's how you start to understand this is what the audience wants, and this is how I pull it out of my video.
So in some ways, I'm sure some people just do it instinctively almost, or
Mhm.
because they've been doing it long enough that they're not even sure that they're doing it, but they're answering those questions. But for somebody who maybe hasn't done a lot of that, I mean, is that sort of intentional script writing, is to actually, you know, what are those questions? How do we work those in?
Yes. And so when we teach people how to create videos, it is very intentional script writing. It
Yeah.
is very intentional of, okay, what is the major question that you're answering with this video? And what are the sub questions you're answering with this video? So when it's time to splinter it, we already have the answer. And so then a lot of people, John, and I'm sure you're going to ask me this, will say, well, what if I already created a video and I don't know?
Yeah.
Well, here's what you do. It's actually really simple. You know the topic that you covered in the video. Go to Google and put that topic in the search. Hit enter. Scroll about a third away down the page, a little bit more now with the generative AI at the top,
Yeah.
and you'll get to a place called People Also Asked.
Yeah. Yeah.
And those are real questions that real people ask. And Google's going to give you a list of questions about this topic that people are asking. And then you ask yourself, did I answer any of those questions in this video? There's your answer.
Yeah. Yeah. You can almost make an entire script up, from some of those videos, because if people are asking it,
Yeah.
I mean, if it registers high enough on that, enough people have asked that, then you should be answering that question, right?
Yes. 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 And yes.
Yeah. So talk a little bit about video in general. Are there some trends today? Are there some styles today? It seems like, I mean, video's been around, well, it's been around forever, but it's been in the hands of people like you and me for, 20 years now.
Yeah.
Are there some current things that we need to be aware of, like length and lighting and, um, you know, subtitles and, all the kinds of things that we need to do if we're going to produce a video that's going to be effective?
Yeah. The number one thing, and this is the one that no one is going to want to hear me say, authenticity.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. And here's what I mean by that. What I mean by that is no one's looking for you to be perfect, right? No one's looking for this to be a newscast on the 6 o'clock evening news. You're not Dan Rather. Okay. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking to connect with you. And so they want you to be you. Yes, if you stutter, be you on camera. Stop trying to be someone else. Stop going on social media and seeing all of these people that you think are polished and trying to be like them. That's not what you should do at all.
Yeah.
Because you can do all the other stuff right. And we can talk about the other stuff, John. But if you miss on this one, it's going to fail, because here's why video is so powerful. And John, you kind of said it a little bit earlier, but here's why video is so powerful. Because there's this know, like, and trust continuum that people need to be on in order to do business with you. And video builds that know, like, and trust automatically. However, when they pick up the phone or they get on Zoom and they then meet the real you, if the real you doesn't line up with who they saw on video, now you've broken trust.
Yeah. 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 So there's actually an element to where you can overproduce a video, right? I mean,
Yes.
if somebody just feels like it's, hey, I'm coming to you today because I have this idea and I'm just wondering if other people have, I mean, that's almost, sometimes that's if that's truly who you are, that's more effective maybe than that thing that, had a full 3-camera shoot, right?
Yes, absolutely. Now, at the same time, when I say authentic to who you are, if you are that person who your hair is never out of place, like, right? If you're always in the best outfits and if you're always dressed to the nines, then you've got to be that on camera too.
Yeah.
Be you.
Yeah. I mean, that's obvious. That's the answer. Be you. Let me tell you, and hopefully you don't do these all the time, or I'm going to get myself in trouble. But the video that drives me crazy is when the person's in their car. It's like, and they take out their phone and they start talking, and so many people do that. Is that an effective tool, or is it just like, oh, I'm going to be like so and so because I saw them doing it? To me, it's sort of off-putting.
Yeah, so there's a ton of copycat, right? Always.
Yeah.
There is a ton of copycat, right? To answer your question, I think I've probably done the in the car video maybe 3 times in my life.
Yeah.
Right? Honestly, it doesn't resonate with my audience.
Yeah.
However, my wife, on the other hand, when she was talking to a few years ago, she had a product and she was talking to busy moms who were always on the go.
Always in the car.
Was relatable.
Yeah.
Right? And so it really depends on your audience.
Yeah.
If you're talking to executives who are sitting in boardrooms and you're in your car,
right.
Not where they are. And so it really, again, that gets all the way back to knowing your audience. And I say it all the time, you got to be obsessed with your audience. And John, I'm preaching to the choir with you on that.
So talk a little bit about editorial calendar. I mean, a lot of times what I think overwhelms people is they know they should be doing this. They wake up on Monday and go, what should I do? And it feels really hard then. How
Yeah,
do you employ an editorial approach to your content
yeah.
creation?
It's a great question. It's a really, really great question. And so in order to understand that, and there are a lot of people who've talked about that in terms of content strategy, right? But there's also something that's missing in there, which is content theory that has to go together. Okay. So let's start with the content theory. Content theory is going to talk about the fact that there is a journey that your ideal customer needs to take with you through
Mhm.
your content, right? So it's understanding the customer and then understanding the journey and how you fit there. That's the theory. We break that down into what we call why, how, and what content. So there's three big buckets. The why, super philosophical, right? Why is this important? Why should you care? Why do I care? Why is it, why does it matter to your world? Right? So
Mhm.
something as simple as the debate between red or white sauce for spaghetti. Why is it important? Well, I only eat white sauce because I'm sick and tired of getting red sauce on my white shirts.
Right.
Okay, right? So that's your why content. It connects you to people. Then your how content says, how do we do something? So it's showing them a small piece of what you do and how you do it, building credibility. Okay, building credibility. So just a small piece of what you do. And then the what content, this is the challenge. The what content is what most of us want to create. It's that post that gets people to click and buy
Yeah.
or click and sign up. And we want to create all of our posts that way, and we shouldn't. Okay. And so only 15% of your post should be there. Right. And that is, and how we teach it is, would you like my help with that?
Yeah. Right. Right.
So that's the theory. The theory is we're moving them through. We align philosophically. I show you I can do what I say I can do. Would you like my help with it? That's
Yeah.
the theory.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's marry that with strategy. And so what we teach there is number one, everything should start because we are video first. Everything starts with your long form video. Your long form video is on a particular topic, answering a particular question that someone in your audience has. You answer that. Once you've created that long form video, now you can now take and create short form that is why, how, and what type content based on that long form. And so it all fits together. Okay. It all fits together. You're looking at one video a week. So 4 videos a month. For some people and for most people, we suggest that you batch it. Take one day a month that you're going to record all 4 videos. Okay. That creates the ease of creating your calendar now.
Right. Right.
It just all kind of grows and flows out of there very nicely and very simply.
So, we're 17 minutes in the show and I haven't asked you about AI. Um, what, what role do you see? I like to ask this two ways now. What role do you see AI playing in content? And then what role do you believe will be left for humans to play in content?
Oh, there's massive role for humans to play in content. Okay. Number one, if we have to understand what it is we are creating. And that gets back into the theory. We have
Mhm.
to understand the journey. We have to understand why all of that works. AI can help us ideate through
Yep.
how to do the thing. But if we don't actually understand the process, we're just throwing stuff against the wall. So I am 100% for AI. Matter of fact, we use a ton of AI. We've been using AI tools, John, since 2015. So we're not new to AI tools,
Right.
right? We love them, but you cannot use them unless you understand the theory of what we're doing and why it works.
Yep.
And that's where the human has to stay.
Yeah, I've long said that I don't think AI will ever get to the point where it can understand that kind of context.
Right.
And that's really that really actually makes strategic thinking, makes theory as you're talking about probably more important than ever because so many people are just going to crank out the robot stuff.
Yep. Yep. And that's just gonna, it's, I also believe we're in the age of AI right now. And so right now, over the next couple of years, probably next 2 years or so, there's going to be a boom of people creating content and it's
Yeah.
going to go wild,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, people who were awful at creating content are going to become quote unquote great at creating content until it all peters out.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it is going to peter out. And when it peters out, the people who are going to win are the people who actually understand what the heck we're doing.
Yeah, I hear people talking about AI like it's some magic fairy dust or plumbing is how I really refer to it. I mean, I think it's really just going to be baked into everything, and people stop paying attention to what it even is
Mm-hmm,
because it's just going to become a feature of pretty much every aspect of business and probably of life
mm-hmm.
in general. And I agree with you. I think it's still in the sort of hype bubble. You've been around long enough. Remember when social media,
Yeah,
was in that same hype bubble, right? And everybody was
absolutely.
like, everything's changed. So it's like, well, nothing's really changed.
No, no.
So speaking of social media, what role does that play in repurposing today?
A massive role because now you have the ability that as we start to intelligently splinter content, we've got multiple places that we can put it. This is also where AI helps because, and those types of tools, because now once you have the theory and you know this is the cut that I'm going to make, well, this cut will work better this way on
Yeah,
Instagram versus
right.
it will work differently on LinkedIn, and the AI tools can actually help you format and structure those faster than we ever could before,
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
And so social media is huge because it's where people go to consume little bits, little bits, little bits, little bits, and those little bits start to add up. And I read it recently that people need to have touch points of now something like 140 times before they purchase.
Mhm.
Remember when it
That's
used to be
scary.
Stefan,
Yes, yes.
right?
Yeah,
And so
yeah,
how do you get to 140?
yeah, yeah,
Social.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Do you still see it as what people refer to as top of funnel? I mean, is it a mechanism that you believe can actually be part of conversion?
So it depends. It depends on your business and it depends on how things are set up.
Yeah.
Okay. So for example, we have clients who they are very big into running Google ads and they run Google ads to webinars,
Hmm.
right? Great, wonderful. You run your Google ads to webinars, that's your top of funnel coming in, and then we retarget and send them to the socials.
Yeah.
And so now social is playing more middle funnel for you. Okay.
Yeah.
And so that's them. Whereas we have other clients in like the cosmetic industry, it's all top of funnel,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And then we have other clients who use it throughout the entire thing. So it really depends on the strategy of what it is that you're building and understanding where it fits. And that's the key. Where does it fit for your audience? Where does your audience want it? So having that conversation with my wife the other day, it was like, she's like, well, I'm going to be selling this thing. And I mean, it doesn't matter what social platform. Yes, it does. Because the fact of the matter is you've never bought anything off of Facebook Marketplace,
Yeah.
but you bought things off of TikTok Marketplace. Why? Because you see TikTok as a place to buy this type of stuff, but you've never bought anything like this from Facebook. In your head, you don't equate Facebook with this purchase, right? So it can't be bottom of funnel for you.
Yeah. 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 Well, Atiba, I appreciate you stopping by the Duct Tape Marketing Podcast. Is there someplace you might want to invite people to connect with you and find out a little more about your work?
Absolutely. So, John, again, thank you. And, we probably opened more questions today for you if you're listening to us than we actually answered. And I would love the opportunity to continue the conversation and continue answering your questions. So do me a favor, go to meetatiba.com. That's meet, ATI, B as in boy, A.com. That's going to take you directly to my LinkedIn. When you get to my LinkedIn, Don't hit the follow button, hit the connect button. Go to more, hit the connect button, and that will let you send me a message. Tell me you saw me here on the Duct Tape Marketing Show with John. Let's connect human to human and let's have a conversation.
Awesome. Well, Atiba, appreciate it again. You spent a few moments with us, and hopefully we'll run into you one of these days soon out there on the road.